Welcome to Great Plains Lutheran High School, the site of tonight's Region 2A volleyball matchup. Tonight, the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers play host to the Elkton Lake Benton Lady Elks. This is the 4 versus 5 matchup in the Region 2A tournament. Starting lineups being introduced right now. We'll go through them as well. Starting lineup for the Elkton Lake Benton Lady Elks, who come in this evening with an overall record of 8-19. Again, the 5 seed in Region 2A. Number 1, a 5'4" freshman Quinn Sliggers playing libero. Number 3, a 6-foot junior Maddie Jensen. Number 4, a 5'8" senior Jocelyn Prosh. Number 9, a 5'9" senior Charlie Tuft. Number 10, a 5'6" freshman Jordan Whisker. Number 14, a 5'6" senior Peyton Keel. And number 16, a 5'2" senior Asia Flores. Starting lineup for your GPL Panthers this evening. Number 2, a 5'5" senior Addison Watkins. Number 5, a 6-foot senior Kate Holman. Number 6, a 5'8" senior Abby Jenstead. Number 8, a 5'2" senior playing libero Jolie Lean. Number 9, a 5'7" senior Mackenzie Canas. Number 10, a 5'5" senior Bella Dunsmore. And number 16, a 6-foot senior Lauren Hansen. Panthers in their home whites. Lady Elks in their road black jerseys with some blue trim and white numbers. We are just about set for action here as lineups are being checked by the floor ref. We are glad that you could join us here this evening and happy to be bringing you playoff volleyball. It's that time of year. Clocks have changed. It's not a full moon tonight. It certainly looks close to it. Why not play some high school volleyball? All right, looks like the Panthers will begin with the serve. Mackenzie Canas toes the line. And we are ready to start. First ball going to Tuft off the far side, and that's going to be a point for the Elks. First service for the Elks will be by Keel. Left-hander sends it across. This will be Jenstead who rips it down the sideline for her first kill of the night. There is a large contingent of Panther fans all decked out here in beach attire, as that's the theme of the night. Jolie Lean, their service cross. This is off the Panther block and down. Score one for Whisker, number 10. Emily Moritz checking into the GPL lineup. And serving for the Elks will be Prosh. Moritz sets up Holman right over the middle there. And the Elks are unable to get it across, so that'll be a point for the Panthers. We'll be keeping an eye on other action around the region and around the state in both Class A and Class B as we have time to check in on things throughout the night. Moritz will be the next server for the Panthers. Tuft hits it off the right side. Panthers scrambling to keep it alive and get it over. Now the Elks have it in system. They'll go middle for a tip. Panthers cover. Jenstead rips it over. Handled by the Elk back row. A little bit of miscommunication. Gets a free ball for the Panthers. Overpass back to the Panther side. This will be Schleusner off the right side, and she's going to hit it too far out of bounds. These teams played about a month ago or so here at GPL, with the Lady Elks winning in 4 sets. This will be good for the number there. Looks like that's Tuft. They'll be the server. Holman, little change of pace, almost fell. Great sprawling dig there by Sleggers, the libero. Holman tries again. This time it works. Kate Holman into the scoring column early tonight. Multiple substitutions for the Panthers. Julia Prahl for the front row. Nyla Vanelli, the sophomore, takes the ball back to serve. And that's going to be an ace serve as the 2 back row defenders run into each other and unable to handle the service. First ace of the night goes to Vanelli and the Panthers. And tried to do a change-up that time and didn't get it over the net. So we're back to square at 4. Multiple subs for the Elks as well. Sleggers and Frericks checking in. Sleggers serves it over. Moritz to Holman. Hammers it down off the right side. Kate Holman elevates and sends it straight to the floor. That almost hit the logo. Now Holman takes the ball back to serve. Panthers up by 1. And that's going to fall to the floor. Kate Holman was one of the injured Panthers. They played each other about a month ago, and there were several injuries to the Panther lineup. Panthers are healthy now, so we'll see if that has an impact on how things go this evening, or if the Elks can repeat how things went about a month ago. All right, this will be Schleusner tipping it over. Tight up against the net there, and there's net contact. And that's going to be called on Elkton Lake Benson. A brief timeout. Looks like Jensen for the Elks is working on putting a Band-Aid on her finger. As the Panthers have extended the lead now to 7-4 here. Early in the first, thanks for joining us. We're set for a fun night of high school volleyball. Panther block is there. Might have been Schleusner getting her hands on that. And we're going to have a quick timeout called by Elkton Lake Benton. We will be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to the action as we are back on the floor. Panthers leading at 8-4 here in the first set. Kate Holman continuing to serve. This will be hit off the right side by Jensen. Panthers go to Schleusner, who pushes it high over the net. Now DeVries down the sideline and in, breaking the Panther run. Sydney DeVries scoring her first point of the match. And the next server will be Maddie Jensen. During that timeout, I was just glancing around. There's no scores reported in the other 2 matches in the region. There was one final already. We'll get to that in just a moment, as Hansen tries to keep that inside the antenna but is unable to. In Region 1, there's already a final. Aberdeen Roncalli, the 2 seed, sweeping Millbank, the 7 seed, 3-0. All right, Moritz goes to Schleusner off the right pin. Pushed across down the sideline. Lean is there for the Panthers. Now Prahl sends it over for GPL. And that's going to be into the net. Couldn't tell from my vantage point if that hit the block or not. They called 4 contacts, so the Panthers will take that point. Addison Watkins and Bella Dunsmore check in for GPL. Panthers leading at 9-6. And that serve is going to go into the nets. This will be Sydney DeVries serving for the Lady Elks. Dunsmore to Hansen out of the middle. And that's off of the hands and falls to the floor. Score 1 for Lauren Hansen. And the Panthers retake the 3-point lead here. Substitutions on both sides as Asia Flores checks in for Elkton Lake Benton and Abby Jenstead checks in for GPL. Julia Prowl serving. It's a strong hit off the right side. Panthers trying to keep it off the floor and unable to. Looked like that might have been Frericks that hit that one across for Elkton Lake Benton. Whisker checks back into the front row. And this will be Keel to serve. Have a little bit of cleanup of the floor. Not sure what, I don't know if it's sweat or other things that they're trying to clean off of the logo there in the middle. Looks like we're going to have a temporary timeout as they make sure that the floor is cleaned up and ready to be played. Gives us a chance to glance around the state and see what else we can see here. We've referenced the other matchups in the region, but we haven't talked about them. So the matchups are as follows. Region 2 is a 7-team region, so the number 1 seed gets a bye to next round on Thursday. That's Clark Willow Lake, who will play the winner of this matchup. On the other side of the bracket, you have the 2-seed Hamlin hosting the 7-seed Dual, and the 3-seed Sioux Valley hosting 6-seed Florence Henry. No scores reported yet from Region 2. Let's switch over to Class B and see what we can find here. Looking at Region 2 or Region 1 in Class B, we have 3 scores reported, and they're all sweeps. Number 1 Northwestern over number 8 Loyola Frederick, number 3 Hitchcock Tulare over number 6 Wabash Summit, and number 4 Aberdeen Christian over number 5 Langford. Region 2B, there's 1 final reported. Number 1 Woolsey Wessington with a 3-set victory over number 8 Iroquois Lake Preston. All right, looks like they're working on getting some blood cleaned up off of the floor there. Shout out to Athletic Director Matt Bauer. Many hats of an athletic director. Not exactly sure if I could tell which player had some blood. And then the hard part is, you know, in the process of a point, where did they all go and where did it all drop? But it looks like we might be ready to resume play now. So this is going to be number 14, Kiel. Panthers with a 2-point lead here, 10-8. This will be Abby Jenstead off the left side, down the sideline and in. We mentioned Kate Holman, who just checks back into the Panther lineup as one of the players who was out the first time. Abby Jenstead also was out. She was still recovering from her ACL injury. Kate Holman was in concussion protocol at the time. Panthers get a free ball across, and it's in. Back row hoping that it would go out of bounds. That high free ball falling fast, landing in, may have even caught the line. Panthers take the point. All right, this is going to be a tight setup against that far side, and Whisker couldn't get that ball. A lot of things to watch when you got that much congestion. So Lean continues to serve. This is another one that's close to the net, and the Elks can't get it out of there. So after the temporary timeout for cleaning up the floor, the Panthers come out with a fast run here. Now have extended the lead 14-8. This is an overpass. Jenstead tips it, and it's eventually going to fall to the floor. And the run continues. This large contingent of Panther fans, which I know you can't see from the camera angle, but they are fired up. And that's a nice silencer for the moment for the Elks. They turned to Prosh, Jocelyn Prosh, one of the seniors on this team, scoring off the right side there for Elkton Lake Benton. And now Prosh will be the next server. Holman out of the middle, off of the defenders and down. Kate Holman tying Jenstead for 3 kills on this first set. Katura Schleusner checking into the Panther front row as Emily Moritz dribbles the ball, ready to serve. And this is going to go into the net. Don't think that that got into the Panther block. That was tough trying to hit that one off the right side for Elkton Lake Benton. Moritz continues to serve. This will be Jensen, and we are going to have a center line violation. That set was pretty close to the net, and Jensen had to jump forward into and over that middle line. We've seen that throughout the year. That's a player safety rule. You don't want to have people crossing that middle line and ankles and all that sort of stuff. Panther block is there to slow down that ball, and it eventually falls to the floor. Timeout, Elkton Lake Benton. Panthers lead by 10. Welcome back to Great Plains Lutheran High School in Watertown, South Dakota. The GPL Panthers enjoying a 19-9 advantage here in the first set, I should say. Panthers turn to Jenstead, and she's able to hit it down off of the block and in front of the back row defenders. If you've been following the Panthers on our broadcast, we've been mentioning about how over the course of these last few weeks, they've gotten healthier, and obviously this is the time where you want to have that. Oh, a little miscommunication there between a couple of Panther defenders, and the ball falls. Score 1 for Elkton Lake Benton. Checking in for Elkton Lake Benton to play front row was number 13, DeVries, and this is Tuft. Ooh, scrambling for the Panthers, and they, almost got it over, but could not. A disjointed point there goes to the Elks. And the next service goes into the net. Two substitutions for the Panthers again. This will be Prawl for the front row. Vanelli will be the next server. Tight set once again, and we're also once more going to have a center line violation. A couple of these sets have forced Elkton hitters to get too close to that center line. This time they're going to go to the back row. Tuft with the hit. Panthers also turn to their back row as there's a free ball sent over. DeVries hits it over for Elkton. Now Holman elevates. Elkton block is there, but the play continues. Sent back over for GPL. Prawl hits it into the Elkton block, and that lands inbounds. That was Whisker and Jensen who were there, providing the block for the Elks. Frericks checks into the front row, and serving now will be Malia Sleggers, the junior. Holman rips it down in between the defenders off the right side. Kate Holman with 4 kills now. And now Kate Holman will serve it. Oh, change of pace there by Jensen. Falls in between all the Panther defenders. Jensen with that point, her first of the evening, and then Jensen rotates back to serve. Lauren Hansen hits it off the near side. Big swing by DeVries, dug by Lean, and then Prawl hits it into the nets. Panthers with a big advantage here in the first, but got to close it out. It's never over till it's over in high school volleyball. Hansen will try it once more. Nice diving effort to keep it alive. The Panthers keep it off the floor, send it back over to the Elks for a back row hit. It's going to be a little too far, and the Panthers find themselves at set point here in the first. This will be Bella Dunsmore serving for the Panthers. And that hit's going to go out of bounds, and the Panthers are going to take the first set tonight 25-14. We'll be back in a couple minutes with set number 2. welcome back to set number 2. First serve will go to Elkton Lake Benton, and set number 2 is underway. Panthers turn to Genstead first. Roll shot nearly falls, but play continues. This will be Hansen out of the middle, and that's going to go off the defender's hands and out of bounds. Lauren Hansen gets the Panthers' first point of set number 2. This will be Jolie Lean serving for GPL, and her serve's going to go long. Emily Moritz checking in for the Panthers. And this will be Jocelyn Prosh serving. Short serve handled by Dunsmore. Right up against the net and tipped nicely by Holman over the double block. Kate Holman now leading the Panthers with 5 kills. Substitution for the Panthers as Katura Schleusner checks in, and this will be Emily Moritz to serve. Overpass, hammered by Genstead, but out of bounds. Frustrated face from Genstead. You get the big eyes, you see it coming, and it's there in the air forever. Hit it too far to the left. So we're tied at 2 as Tuft is the next server. This will be Genstead with the roll shot, and that's going to fall over the double block. Prawl and Vanelli will check in for the Panthers. This will be DeVries, and she's unable to handle that one. And that ball goes into the net. Looking around the region, there is one set entered in for the 2-7 matchup between Hamlin and Dual. The number 2 seed Hamlin winning that first one 25-17. Julia Prawl hits that one. Elkton block was there. Prawl pushes it down the sideline. And then sent across by the Elks. Prawl once again off the tape, into the net and over. Good reflexes by the Elks, and the point continues on. Good coverage by Lean, as that looked like that was ticketed for the sideline. And Holman hits it in. Good energy by the Panthers all the way around to get the point. And the Panthers are off to a fast start here in set number 2. With a 5-2 lead. This is going to be Holman. Nice solo block there. That was Jensen, and now Jensen sends it over. Well, Holman returns the solo block party. And Moritz got a piece of that one, and Lean was running the other direction trying to cover for it, so it falls for a point for the Panthers and a kill for Maddie Jensen. She's up to 2 now. Speaking of 2, number 2, Malia Schlegers checking in to serve next for the Elks, trailing 3-5. Prawl hits it into the Elkton block. Panthers tip it across. Oh, and it falls. Again, a little miscommunication there between some Elk defenders. It's not the traditional point for Kate Holman, but she'll take it. Now Holman will be the next server. And this one's going to float too far out of bounds. Maddie Jensen, the junior, ready to put the ball into play for Elkton Lake Benton. Off of the tape and over. Schleusner blocked by the Elks, and that falls to the floor. It looked like Prosh got her hands on that. Second block for the Elks tonight. Schleusner off the right side. Tip over into the middle, and it falls to the floor. Schlegers gets the point for the Elks. This next serve for Jensen goes towards the back line. Lean hits it from the back row, and then a free ball back over to the Panthers. Schleusner, that is going to be eventually hit out of bounds off of the Elkton back row. So score one for the Panthers and Keturah Schleusner. Addison Watkins and Bella Dunsmore checking into the Panther lineup. DeVries, and she's able to split the defense and find some room in the back row. DeVries' second point of the night. Speaking of DeVries, she's going to be the next server as we are tied up at 7 here in the second set. Watkins hits it too far, out of bounds, and the Elks take the lead 8-7. Watkins hits a free ball over. It's Elkson's system. Go across the net to Tuft. She went down the sideline, but Lean was ready for it. Lauren Hansen out of the middle hits it down. 6-footer using her length to get that ball at its highest point and send it down to the floor. Abby Jenstead back into the Panther lineup. Julia Prahl will be the server. Tip into the middle. That's been a tough spot for the Panthers here this set. And it falls to the floor for Frericks. Substitution for the Elks as Keel comes back in and she'll serve. Now she'll come in. All right. Panthers send it to Jenstead, and she hits a winner down the sideline. Abby Jenstead's been playing now for a couple weeks after coming back to the floor. ACL injury from basketball. Makes a difference when you have your players healthy, for sure. Oh, we have collisions, and we have players running into the net and padding. Everyone seems to be smiling. That was number 2, Malia Slaggers. Easily could have caught a finger in the net or smacked into the upright, the stanchion. All kinds of things could have gone wrong there. All right, back to the play. This is going to be hit into the net this time for Jenstead. So we're tied up again at 10. Emily Moritz checking in for GPL. This will be Prosh serving for the Elks. Tip over by Holman. Slaggers hits it. Panthers able to keep it off the floor, and Jenstead tried to tip it over, but there was coverage by the Elks. This time, tip over, scoring one for the Elks. I think that was tough. Moritz goes to Jenstead, and she's able to power it through the block. Ooh, that looked like it may have been pinned, but play continues. Jenstead tried it again. Good dig there by Flores. And then a tip over, similar to the last play, 2 in a row for Tuft. So the Elks open up a 2-point advantage here, 12-10. Panthers go to Holman out of the middle, and she's able to find some space in the back row. Kate Holman up to 8 kills, 4 in each set so far. Next server for the Panthers will be Emily Moritz. Jensen hits it down the sideline. Elks have found some open real estate there on those sideline attacks. This will be Tuft serving. Again, Elks up by 2. Midway through the second set. Free ball just makes it over. And Elks have to send a free ball over themselves. Tip over by Holman. Good coverage by, that was Slegers, the libero. And Moritz tries to keep it out of the net, but in doing so punches it out of bounds. Timeout on the floor called by Coach Carley and the Panthers. We will be back in 60 seconds. All right, both teams are back on the floor, and we are set to resume midway through the second. Elkton Lake Benton leading 14-11. Panthers send over a free ball. So Elkson's system turned to Jensen. Sprawling dig by Lean, and then Holman tried to kind of throw it over the net and was called for a lift. Didn't matter, it was going into the net anyways. Short serve is going to end up being an ace for Tufts. That's the first ace tonight for Elkton Lake Benton. And the senior brings it on that last point. Kate Holman slowed down by the block of Jensen. Now DeVries dug by Lean. Holman out of the middle again, off the defender's hands and out of bounds. Powerful swing by Kate Holman, leading all scorers tonight with 9 kills. Prahl and Vanelli checking back in for GPL. Elks lead by 4. Jensen off the right side, and that falls into the back corner. Might have gone off the Panther block anyways. So score another one. Maddie Jensen with 3 kills now in the third set, leading the Elks. In the second set, I should say. Malia Slegers now serving. And tip across by Holman. And a lift is called on that block attempt. Holman dribbles the ball behind the line, ready to put the ball into play. Tip across, Panther defense covered. Now Schleusner tries the angled shot, but that's too much of an angle, and that goes out of bounds. This will be Maddie Jensen to be the next server for Elkton Lake Benton. Lauren Hansen down the sideline scores one for the Panthers. Normally a middle hitter, but showing some variety in her offense there. Hitting it off the left side. Addison Watkins checks into the Panther lineup. Bella Dunsmore serves. Tough serve by Dunsmore. Roll shot handled by the Panther back row. Hansen out of the middle. This will be DeVries, Panther block ready. Ew, and then unable to get it over the net. Panthers take the point. See if the Panthers can put together a little string of points here to get back into it. down 3. Still some time remaining, of course. Tip across into the middle. This time the Panther defense covers that. Prawl with a nice shot. And then a big hit by DeVries. Off of Jolie Lean and out of bounds. Sydney DeVries scoring one to put the advantage back up to 4, 19-15. This will be Watkins heading across for the Panthers. Frericks hit that one for the Elks. Now Watkins off of the block. Elks able to keep it alive and send it far into the corner. Now Hansen hits it over for GPL. Benelli with the coverage and unable to eventually pass it over. So a good spot locating it on that push shot into the deep corner. Panthers covered it the first time, but not the second time. So the Elks back to their 5-point lead at 15-20. And an ace serve for DeVries. Timeout GPL. Elks lead at 21-15. We will be right back. We are back to the action. Just glancing at some scores around the region. Hamlin now with a 2-0 advantage over Dual in that 2-7 game. First point out, the Panthers turn to Hansen, and she's able to score off the defender's hands. Lauren Hansen with 4 points just in this second set alone. Abby Jenstead back into the Panther lineup, and Julia Prawl will be the server. Also checking in is Flores for the Elks. And that's going to be a lift eventually called. Frericks with the hit into and through the Panther block, and they were unable to handle it legally anyways. So score one for her, and we have substitutions here as Kiel is waiting to enter the game. Momentary pause to make sure everything's on the up and up with the scorebook, and we are back to action. Hansen is able to score it for the Panthers as she powered it through the block. That is 5 now this set. Kate Holman with 5 and Lauren Hansen with 5 for the Panthers. But the Panthers find themselves down late. They turn to libero Jolie Lean, who just missed the back line. Inches. Jocelyn Prosh will serve next. Abby Jenstead through the block and down. Katura Schleusner into the Panther lineup. Emily Moritz will serve. And Moritz's serve goes a little bit long. Few serves here in this set that could not quite find that back line. So the Elks find themselves at set point here as they lead 24-18, I should say. Tuft will serve it. Panthers are going to have to send over a free ball. Allows for the Elks to be in system. They turn it over here to Jensen, and that goes out of bounds. All right, this will be Jenstead to serve. DeVries hits it. And tipped across by Tomzak. Holman blocks, and it falls to the ground. Maddie Jensen seals the second set victory with a nice block out of the middle. And Elkton Lake Benton takes it 25-19. So we're tied up at a set apiece. What more could you want out of a 4-5 matchup? We'll be back in a few minutes with set number 3. And welcome back. We are ready to get the ball into play for set number 3. First ball to Tuft. Her tip over is dug by Lean. And Jenstead is able to hit it off the defenders. Abby Jenstead, first point here. She is now up to 8 kills herself. Go along with Kate Holman's 9 and Lauren Hansen's 6. Tuft hits that one. And the Panthers push it across. Lefty swing there is going to go off the defender's hands, and Keel with her first point of the night. Teammates pretty fired up about that one. Now Keel will serve. Jenstead tries to split the defenders. Then Jenstead. So Lean will serve it again. This time it stays on the Panther side of the net. This will be Prosh to be the next server for Elkton Lake Benton. Panthers go to Jenstead. That ricochets off a couple of Elks and then finally falls to the floor. Katura Schleusner checks into the Panther lineup, and this will be Emily Moritz. Knee-high dribble, waiting to get the permission to serve it, and here it goes. Sprawling dig, and the Panthers get it over the net. No. First time tonight where the tip on two worked for the Elks. DeVries back into the lineup for Elkton Lake Benton. This will be Tuft serving. Schleusner pushes it across. Now DeVries splits the defense in the back row. Powerful swing by Sydney DeVries. She now has 4 kills tonight. Tight up against the net. And that's going to fall to the floor on the Panthers side. Short serve also into the net, and Panthers unable to handle it. Tuft with a couple tough serves in a row here have given the Elks the lead at 6-5. Another short serve. And it falls to the floor. Panthers unable to solve this serve that just barely makes it over the net and drops in front. Tuft tries it again. Now the ball on the Elk side. DeVries blocked by the Panthers. Ooh, that's tight up against the net, and it's going to fall to the floor on the Elk side. So a point for the Panthers. Again, both sides with a set here, and we're playing set 3. Very important set. Vanelli is the next server for the Panthers. Tip over. Panther defense covers. Pushed down the sideline by Prahl. Nice sight there by the junior to see open space, and Julia Prahl scores for the first time tonight. Next serve by Vanelli is over and good. DeVries tips it down the sideline. Now Holman is blocked. Panthers trying to keep it alive, and they do. Now a tip over. Vanelli is there for the Panthers. Prahl blocked by the Elks. Now going to the other side. Schleusner hits it down the sideline and into the net and down. Not sure if the Panther block got a piece of that or if it just sat on the top of the net and came back to the Elks side. Nonetheless, the Panthers take the point and regain the lead, 8-7. Tight set. DeVries does well to stay out of the net there. And Prahl powers it through the double block and scores the point. Julia Prahl with a couple points recently for GPL. And Vanelli continues to serve. Prahl will try it again. This time the block is there and it falls to the floor. Looked like that was Jensen that got her hands on that one. 4 blocks now for Elkton Lake Benton compared to 1 for GPL. This will be Sleggers. Holman, her feet mixed up a little bit there and sent it off. Panther block got a piece of that one, so Lean had to play it. Nice swing by Prahl, better dig by Tuft. Nice dig by Prahl, might have got some of her face on that one, but play continues, and Prahl's gonna try it again. And the block stops that attack. Jensen with another one, she's now got 3. Lots of emotion in every point here as we're playing the pivotal third set, tied at 1 set apiece. Prahl's going to try it again. This time it gets through the block. Holman hits it down. Kate Holman back into the scoring column. She's the second Panther to double digits now, as Jensted's already there. Kate Holman ready to serve it again. Floating serve that's going to float too far out of bounds. This will be Maddie Jensen serving for GPL, or for Elkton Lake Benton. Schleusner with a nice hit off the right side. That goes off the defender's hands and out of bounds. Katura Schleusner with her second kill tonight. Addison Watkins and Bella Dunsmore checking in for the Panthers. Dunsmore will serve. Prosh with a big hit off the far side, and that is in. Jocelyn Prosh with her second kill tonight. This tight match is tied up once again. Lauren Hansen hits it for the Panthers out of the middle. Nice job by the Elks to fish it out of the net. Hansen will try it again, hits it over left-handed this time. Tuft with the tip across. Good coverage by the Panthers. Prawl with the hit. And they call a back row attack on that one. Looking for an explanation from Coach Carley. Or Coach Carley looking for an explanation. And we're back to the action. So the Elks took that point and regained the lead. Panthers have to send over a free ball. And then the tip into the middle falls to the floor. That was Frericks. I feel like she's done a couple of those tonight. So as we make our way through the middle of set number 3, the Elks extend to 2-point advantage. Dunsmore tried to go over on 2. Now Watkins, the nice hit. Panther defense ready to cover that tip. Prawl pushes it deep. Oh, she had space but pushed it too far. We have a timeout on the floor called by the Panthers as they are now down by 3. We will be right back. And we are back midway through the third. Elks enjoying a 3-point lead. This will be Watkins. Sprawling dig by Tuft. And then from her knees hits it over. Hansen dug by the Elks and then tipped over by Tuft, and it falls to the floor. Charlie Tuft with 4 kills now tonight. Elsewhere around the region, looks as though Hamlin finished off the sweep of the dual Cardinals. As Panthers turn it to Lauren Hansen. This time it goes off the defender's hands and out of bounds. Also in the 6-3 match, the number 3 seed Sioux Valley Cossacks with a 2-0 advantage over the Florence Henry Falcons. All right. Flores into the Elkton Lake Benton lineup. Canas ready to serve it for GPL. Tuft down the sideline, dug by Lean. Jenstead. Now Tuft pushes it over. Jenstead will give it another go. This time it's blocked. The Elk block playing a big role here in the middle of the third. Looked like that may have been Prosh to get her hands on that one. This will be Keel checking into the Elk lineup. Tight set, and Jenstead does well just to get it over. And now Jenstead, the roll shot. A little disjointed point here. Finally a big swing by Tuft, and that goes to the floor. Charlie Tuft starting to warm up on offense here for the Elks in the middle of the match. Elks extend it to a 5-point advantage. And an ace serve. That looked like it was going to get caught up in the net, but it made it over. So an ace for Keel. And let's see, the Elks are now up to 6 aces tonight. Tuft again. This time Panther block slows it down. Prosh hits it, and that one goes into the net. All right, this will be Jolie Lean serving for the Panthers. And scoring for the Elks once more is Tuft. She has become the central point of the Elk offense here recently. Jensen checks back in for Elkton Lake Benton, and now serving will be Jocelyn Prosh. Panthers serve receive having a hard time with some of these serves from the Elks. This one's going to go out of bounds. Panthers get that point back. Katura Schleusner checking in for the Panthers. Emily Moritz will serve. Panthers down 5. This is going to be tight up against the net, but handled well there by the setter. Sets up Tuft perfectly, and she hammers it home. Now Tuft goes to the service line, put the ball back into play. This is Jenstead off the block and out of bounds. That came all the way across. Not sure if it was going to catch that near sideline or not. Landed out of bounds. Prawl and Vanelli back in. Vanelli will serve. Again, the difference is 5. DeVries rips it down the sideline. Nicely dug there by Lean. DeVries pushes this one down the sideline. Leans there again. Holman is able to hit it off the block and out of bounds. Benelli will serve it again. Tip across, Panther defense is ready. But then the next pass goes towards the net, and it's going to fall on the Panther side. Frericks back into the Elk lineup. Malia Sleggers will serve. Holman, the big hit, overpass, sprawling dig by Lean, and then sent over to the Elks. Nice back set, sets up a winner for Frericks. It's 22-16, Elkton Lake Benton. Kate Holman off of the block, and it falls to the floor. Holman will be the next server. DeVries hits it down the side. Holman with the dig. Now Prawl pushes it towards the back row, but Tuft is there. Panther block, slows down DeVries, and then it's tipped into the middle and it falls to the floor. The Elks 2 points away from taking set number 3. Send it across. Schleusner off of the block and down. Katura Schleusner with 3 kills tonight. Addison Watkins and Bella Dunsmore into the Panther lineup. And there is a call at the nets. Looks like the Panther block was into the net. That moves the Elks to set point here in set number 3. And this will be Keel. Tight up against the net. Watkins does hit it over. Panthers do well to keep it alive for now. And Prawl pushes it over. Tuft with the roll shot. Now Hansen hit out of the middle. Oh, and trying to go over on 2 again was Sleggers. This time the net caught it. And the Panthers take that point and stave off 1 set point. Substitutions for GPL as Canas and Genstead come into the lineup. A momentary pause. Looks like they're just checking rotations here. And then we will have a substitution then as Flores comes back in. Tuft able to hit it off the block and it falls to the floor. And the Elks take set number 3, 25-19, just the same score as we had in the second set as it was. And more importantly, take a 2-1 advantage. We will be back with set number 4 in a few minutes. Both teams are back on the court. We are nearly ready for set number 4. Elkton Lake Benton leading it 2-1 after the Panthers took the first set 25-14. Then sets 2 and 3 to the Elks. Final scores of 19-25 apiece. And first ball over, Watkins hits it, and Tufts tried to shove it back into the Panthers side, and it got caught into the net. Now Jolie Lean serves it over. This will be Prosh off the right side, splitting the back row defense. Jocelyn Prosh has 3 kills tonight. Moritz checks into the Panther lineup, and Prosh will be the server. Panthers turn to Jenstead, and she is blocked. And that ball stays in bounds. Looked like that may have been Sleggers that got her hand on that one. So Prosh will get ready to serve it again. Moritz to Jenstead again. Once more, the Elk block gets their hands on it. This time, Jenstead tips it over. And tipping it down. Ooh. Not sure if that was called down to the floor. It was a sprawling pancake attempt, and the upright official was directly in my line of sight. Doesn't matter what I saw, she saw it down. This time Holman, shoulder dig, and eventually the ball, well, another one that just maybe fell or maybe kept off the floor, and it was called down. So score one more for the Elks. Holman tries it again, and this time it goes out of bounds. We're going to have a brief timeout here. Looks like Jolie Lean is getting a little medical attention, maybe a little tape on the fingers here. She's back on the court. Looks like we're ready to roll. And the Elks off to a fast start here, looking to close out the match in the 4th set. Panthers looking to extend it to a deciding 5th set. Jenstead powers it down the sideline this time. Katura Schleusner into the lineup for GPL. Emily Moritz will serve. Free ball sent across. Panthers in offense. Jenstead tips it tight angle. Tuft does a good job to cover, and then she hits it over. And Jenstead hits it into the Elk block, and then it lands out of bounds. Kristen Tomzak gave it a good look just to make sure over there. So Moritz continues her service run. And a nice tip off of the block. Well, let's see here. We're going to have a conversation. And it's going to be called out of bounds. Panthers get the point. So the Panthers get the point and are right back into this thing at 4-5 as Moritz continues to serve. Holman hits it off the back row hands and out of bounds. So the Panthers seize a little momentum and get right back into this thing at 5 apiece. We're violation called on that serve receive for that'll be Moritz's serve. Emily Moritz's serve. So she'll serve it once more. Panthers now with the lead at 6-5. Tip across by Tuft, but Holman is there for the block. That is just the second block for the Panthers tonight, but it comes at an important time here. Again, Panthers must win the fourth set. Tufts hits it down the sideline and inbounds. Tuft is now up to 9 kills, and she'll be the next server for the Elks. Moritz to Holman. Tuft with the dig. And a free ball sent towards that deep corner, but it was too far to the side, out of bounds. Prawl and Vanelli checking in for GPL. And Nyla Vanelli will be the server. Short serve by Vanelli. Elks out of system. Prawl through the block and a lift violation called. Julia Prawl scores one for the Panthers. So quite a turnaround after a 5-1 start. Now Vanelli serves it into the net. Frericks back into the front row for the Elks. This will be Sleggers to serve. Lean out of the back row. DeVries, nice hit. Better dig by Lean. Ball back on the side of the Elks. In system, they go to Frericks. She's tried that tip into the middle a few times. Panther defense kept that one off the floor. Now Jensen off of Vanelli's hands and out of bounds. Maddie Jensen scoring. She's up to 5 kills tonight. And the Elks back within 1 as Sleggers serves it again. Holman down the sideline, dug by the other Sleggers. Moritz, Holman, block, slows it down. Now DeVries down the sideline and in. Nice shot there by DeVries. She's up to 5 kills tonight as well. We are tied at 9. Sleggers continues to serve for the Elks. Tip across by Holman. Jensen, nice dig by Lean. Prawl pushes it into the block, then tried to kick it to keep it off the floor, and eventually it falls down on the Panther side. All right, 3 in a row here for the Elks. Panthers go to Holman, trying to be the stopper, and it does fall down to the floor. Kill for Kate Holman. Important side out there for the Panthers. It is tied up once again. Short serve by Holman gets the Elks scrambling and able to keep it alive. Lauren Hansen hits it into the net. This will be Maddie Jensen to serve it for the Elks with a 1-point advantage. Moritz does well just to hit it over, but she's technically in the back row, I think. So that will be a back row attack and a point for the Elks. So the Elks with the 2-point lead again, 12-10. Jensen continues to serve. And Schleusner's unable to keep it in bounds. Tough connection there between setter and hitter. We have a timeout on the floor as the Panthers will take their first timeout of the set, down 3. We will be right back. All right, both teams are back on the floor looking around the region. We already mentioned Hamlin winning in straight sets over Dual in the 3-6 game. Sioux Valley with a 2-1 lead as they play in the 4th. Jolie Lean with the first hit out. Now the Elks turn to DeVries. Hits it down the sideline. Sprawling effort by Lean, but eventually it falls to the floor. DeVries with another point for the Elks. Lauren Hansen hits it down the sideline, but that's going to be out of bounds. So the Elks extend to a 5-point lead here. Again, the Elks lead 2-1. Panthers must win to extend the night. Schleusner hits it off the right side, through the double block and down. Katura Schleusner up to 4 kills now. Dunsmore and Watkins checking into the GPL lineup, and Dunsmore will serve. And that's going to go into the student section. Ace for Bella. Panthers up to 4 aces. Elks have 6 on the night. Fast serve by Dunsmore this time. This will be Julia Prawl hitting it down the side. Tipped over by the Elks. Both teams a little bit disjointed on offense. This will be DeVries, and net contact on that follow through as the set took DeVries a little too close to the net. So the Panthers inching their way back within 2 now. This service is going to float out of bounds. DeVries will be the next server for Elkton. Lake Benton. Watkins for the Panthers. Punched over by Tuft. Did well there with a tight set. Watkins on the other side this time. Now a tip over, and it's going to be a double contact called on the Panthers as that ball was rolling around by the net. So as soon as the Panthers get within 2, the Elks respond to get the next couple to extend the lead back up to 4. Watkins, the angled shot, and it's going to eventually be, they're going to call 4 contacts. Defenders bumping into each other, unable to locate the ball. Ended up getting the Panthers the point. Julia Prawl will be the next server. Free ball for the Panthers. This will be Jenstead between the blockers and down. $14 kills on the night for Abby, the all-time leader in that category for the Panthers, continuing to put up more numbers. The most important number that matters right now is the scoreboard. Tuft with the big swing off the far side. Blocked by the Panthers. That's going to stay in bounds, and Panthers continue to play it. Genstead, the changeup. That's a nice sprawling dig by the libero. Tuft with the tip. Genstead blocked. Joust at the net. Back on the Panthers side. Good reactions by Hansen to keep it from falling. Another one right up against the net. Great dig by Lean, and this lengthy point continues. Tuft's hit goes sprawling over the net, and it eventually goes out of bounds. What a lengthy point. Both sides appreciating the effort. Tomzak into the Panther lineup, and checking in for the Elks will be Keel. Elks again leading by 3. Tough pass. Dunsmore does well just to get it back into the field of play. And then a tip across by the Elks. Tuft slowed down by the Panther block. Now Genstead, nice hit, nice dig by the libero. Nice dig by our libero. Now Genstead off the block into the student section. Panthers get the point. Some lengthy, dramatic points as we're making our way towards the latter stages of the fourth. Again, Elks trying to win it in 4, Panthers trying to force a 5th. Roll shot by Tuft, and that's going to go out of bounds. We are going to have a timeout on the floor called by Elkton Lake Benton. We will be back in 60 seconds. All right, welcome back to Great Plains Lutheran High School. We are in set 4 with the Elkton Lake Benton Lady Elks with a 1-point lead as senior Jolie Lean gets the ball back into play. And the first point goes to the Elks as a tip over deflects off some Panthers and out of bounds by Sleggers. This will be Prosh to serve it. Holman blocked, and unable to handle it are the Panthers. Looked like that was Jensen. I have her for 4 blocks tonight. Playing big in the middle. Genstead tips it into the Elk block. And Tomzak sends it over. Tuft blocked by Holman, and it lands just out of bounds. Score another one for Tuft, and we have another timeout as the Panthers want to talk things over. 21-17. Elkton Lake Benton with the lead. As Jocelyn Prosch sends over a short serve. Holman with the roll shot. Jensen tips it over the double block. Sprawling effort to keep it alive. And Dunsmore slamming into the padding, got it over. Holman tipped it over. Now Tuft with the hit. Tip across by Jenstead, and that falls to the floor. Abby Jenstead continuing to rack up the kills. Gets the Panthers back within 3. "16 kills now for the senior from Aberdeen, Abby Jenstead. Overpass, Holman tips it, and we have a net violation called on the Elks. Couple in a row for the Panthers. It's crunch time. Moritz continues to serve. And a little bit of a misconnection there between the setter and hitter for the Elks. Moritz serves another one. This will be Tuft, blocked. Jensen pushes it down inside the boundary, inside the far sideline. Big point there for the Elks at the hands of Maddie Jensen, who has 6 kills tonight. All right, this will be Tuft to serve the 2-point lead. Panthers send over a free ball. Elks try to tip it over on 2, but the Panther defense was alert to it. Jenstead with the roll shot, and that goes off of the defense and into the bench. Looked like the coach may have actually touched it. There's a little bit of confusion as to what's going on here, but that should be a point for the Panthers. And Abby Jenstead. All right, substitutions for the Panthers as Prawl comes into the front row. Vanelli comes in to serve. Panthers down by 1. Ooh, that floating serve goes too far for Vanelli. And the Elks back up by 2. Frericks checks into the front row for Elkton Lake Benton. Moritz to Holman. She hits it down the side. Good dig there by Tuft. But a free ball sent across. Panthers with options. That'll be Holman. Couple of one-armed hits keep the ball off the floor for the Elks. But then Holman smashes it down. Panther fans love the effort. Kate Holman takes the ball back behind the line now. Tip across by Jensen. Prawl pushes it down the sideline, inbounds. Great vision by Julia Prawl. Ties this thing up at 23, and it is a timeout on the floor. We will be back again in 1 minute. Welcome back to Great Plains Lutheran High School, Watertown, South Dakota. If you're looking for high school volleyball drama, you have found it. We are knotted up at 23. Panthers must win the fourth set. The Elks go to DeVries. Her hit is dug by Holman. Prawl, tight angle tip, handled by the Elks. And then the Elks hit it into the net. Set point Panthers. Holman's serve is over and in. DeVries powers it through the block and down. Sydney DeVries with a big point for the Elks. And we are once again tied at 24. This will be Jensen to serve. Moritz to Schleusner. She has to push it across. That sets up DeVries. Panther block slows it down. Tied up against the net. Prawl pushes it through. Free ball sent across. Moritz to Prawl. Big swing, too big of a swing. That goes a little too far. And that puts Elkton Lake Benton at match point. Moritz to lean. Had some open space there before the back row covered it. And DeVries hits it into the net. We continue on. Watkins and Dunsmore checking into the lineup. All square at 25. And an ace serve. Dunsmore will serve it again. Tip over. Dunsmore digs it. Panthers go to Prawl. Tight angle tip. This is a joust right above the net. Net contact. And the ruling is that both teams were in the net, and it's going to be a jump ball. We are going to play the point over. It is still set point GPL. DeVries off the far or the near side here. Prawl, angle shot dug by Slaggers. Tip into the middle. Panthers able to keep it off the floor. Prawl pushes it deep into the near corner. A couple of Elks run into each other but are able to keep it up. Back to the Panther side. Hansen slowed down by the Elk block. DeVries down the sideline and in. Sydney DeVries with two clutch hits when the Panthers had set point. Now she'll go back to serve. Watkins, dug by DeVries. Running tip, blocked by the Panthers, Lauren Hansen. Flores back into the lineup for Elkton Lake Benton. Genstead back into the Panther lineup. Prawl back to serve. Panthers find themselves again at set point here in the fourth. Tipped into the middle, dug by Watkins. Genstead tips it into the middle. Free ball sent across by the Elks. Dunsmore to Genstead, and she hits it into the nets. Tom Zach checks into the Panther lineup, playing back row. Keel checks in for the Elks, and she'll serve. And that service is going to go too far out of bounds. Jolie Lean, senior libero, ready to serve, and she drops in a changeup, nearly falls. Tipped into the middle, Panthers there. Jenstead blocked. Jenstead once more, pushed into the middle, and it falls to the floor. We are going to set number 5, ladies and gentlemen. In a dramatic fourth set, GPL takes it 29-27. We'll have a little bit longer break as we have a coin toss before the 5th set, but we will be back with set 5 action in a couple minutes. We are ready for set number 5 between the Elkton Lake Benton Elks and the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. And the first hit goes into the antenna. Will be out of bounds off the Elks, and the Panthers will take the first point. Whether you've been following us for all 5 sets or just picking us up as you've been bouncing around watching volleyball action throughout the night, we're glad that you're here. It's like we have a net violation called on the Panthers block attempt there, so we're all square back at 1. Remember, we're playing to 15 in the 5th set. You must win by 2. This will be Jenstead, tips it across. Panther defense covers the tip for the Elks. Now Jenstead rips it down the sideline and off defenders. Abby Jenstead up to 18 kills. Jolie Lean, senior libero, sends it over. And it's an ace serve. The all-time leader in aces picks a good time for her first one of the evening. Next service is handled better. This will be hit into the net. Fast start for the Panthers, up 4-1. Tight up against the net, tip across, and that's in. Panthers were wondering if that was a back row attack, but that setter was in the front row there, so that's a good point for the Elks. Emily Moritz checking into the Panther lineup. And Prosh will serve. One of 4 seniors on this Elk squad. Holman out of the middle with the big shot. Off the defender and down. Kate Holman now has 16 kills on the evening. Katura Schleusner checking into the Panther lineup. Emily Moritz will be the next server. Tip covered by the Panther defense. Jensted with the roll shot. Now Tuft with the big swing. Oh, that may have been ticketed out of bounds, but the Panther defense plays it and unable to corral it. Tuft is up to 11 kills now. DeVries into the lineup for the front row. She had some big moments in the latter stages of the 4th set. And Tuft will be the server, short serve. Jensted tips it, dug nicely by the libero Sleggers. And the Panthers send over a free ball. Elks in system, tip it over. Panthers also tip it over. Jensted trying a tight angled tip that time. Oh, that's going to be an overpass. Oh, 2 Panthers run into each other and can't get it over. Lots of energy in the gym, as you can imagine. Good crowd on hand for this first round matchup in Region 2A. Holman with the tip. Tuft out of the back row, blocked by Holman straight down. Kate Holman at the right place at the right time. That's her 2nd block tonight. Just the 4th for the Panthers, but timely that one. Prawl and Vanelli back into the Panther lineup, leading by 2. Short serve by Vanelli. DeVries, long. Powerful swing by DeVries, but a little bit too far on that one. Next serve by Vanelli. Float serve goes over. Defense covering that 2nd contact tip that the Elks have tried many times tonight. Ball ricocheting back and forth. Now the Panthers settle it down. Holman with the tip. And there's a net violation called against Elkton Lake Benton. Timeout on the floor called by the Elks. We will be right back. We are in the middle of the 5th set. Panthers lead at 8-4. Vanelli puts the ball back into play. Punched over by Jensen. Holman with the tip. Free ball sent back to the Panther back line. Now Holman winds up and hits this one. Now it'll be Prawl, and that powered through the block and down. Julia Prawl recording a big point. She has 5 kills now tonight. 9-4 Panthers. Elks out of system, end up pushing it across. Holman once again, and off the defender and down. 17 for Kate Holman. Vanelli continues our service run. DeVries down the sideline, dug by Lean. Holman once more out of the middle, dug by the Elks this time. And a deep one, that's too far for the Elks. The Panthers have taken that dramatic fourth set and have taken the momentum well into the fifth now. Moritz to Holman again, and that's in. The gem's rocking. Panther fans loving the guts and grit. And that's a big swing by Jensen. Panther defense is able to keep it and send it across. Now a set right up against the net. We're going to have a net violation called on the Panthers. Checking in for Elkton Lake Benton is number 8, Frericks. And Malia Sleggers will serve it. Moritz, Holman, dug by Sleggers. Right up against the net, Panther block is there. And the Panther block is there again. Kate Holman with her fingerprints all over this fifth set. Kate Holman now to the service line. Nice dig by Moritz, but Prahl could not get it over the net. Good swing there. I believe that was Jensen for the Elks. Now Jensen will be the server. Hansen pushes it towards the back row. DeVries off the Panther block and down. Sydney DeVries up to 9 kills tonight. Lean out of the back row. DeVries again off the block like a replay. When the Elks have needed a clutch point, they have gone to DeVries more often than not. Timeout on the floor called by the Panthers. We will take a brief break and be right back. Welcome back to set number 5. Panthers with a 5-point lead, 13-8. Maddie Jensen will put the ball back into play. And it's going to be Schleusner to hit off the right side. Doug, and now DeVries able to keep it in bounds. Ooh, a little bit of Panthers looking at each other like who's going to take that one. This will be Prahl. And DeVries once again. Hansen out of the middle, and she tips it into the back row and finds open floor. Lauren Hansen with 8 kills. Watkins and Dunsmore into the GPL lineup. Panthers at match point. Good dig by Dunsmore. Hansen sends it over. DeVries pushes it deep. Good dig by Lean. Hansen unable to get to that one near the net, and that will be a point for the Elks. DeVries will be the server. Watkins, the angled shot. Tuft with the hit, and that's going to be too far out of bounds. The GPL Panthers come back in dramatic fashion in the fourth, and then take the fifth set 15-9. The GPL Panthers will advance on to Thursday evening, where they will be playing the number 1 seed, Clark Willow Lake Cyclones. We'll be totaling things up here in just one moment, looking at our game leaders on both sides. Again, I want to thank you for joining us, whether that was throughout the whole match or just at the end here as you were checking scores around the state. Leaders for the Elks. On offense, Charlie Tuft, the senior, with 11 kills. Sidney DeVries, the junior, with 10 kills. And Maddie Jensen, the junior, with 6. Jensen also led the Elks with 4 blocks, and Tuft with 4 aces. Statistical leaders for the Panthers. Leading on offense, Kate Holman with 18 kills. Abby Jenstead also with 18 kills. Lauren Hansen provided 7 kills and 4 apiece for Schleusner and Prahl. Kate Holman led the Panthers with 3 blocks, and Bella Dunsmore led the Panthers with 2 aces. Again, as we mentioned, the Panthers will hit the road on Thursday as they continue their region playoff run. They will be playing, I believe that game is in Clark, against the Cyclones. Again, I want to thank you all for joining us for this exciting volleyball playoff game. It's been a pleasure to bring volleyball to the Panther fans throughout the season. Thank you for joining us. If you could not be here in person, glad we could provide this service for Panther fans literally all around the country. So thank you for tuning in. And hopefully we can get a strong contingent of Panther fans to make their way down the highway west to Clark on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a production of GPL YouTube Media. Go Panthers.